Hi, welcome to my back to school blast. We're going to be talking about a lot of things having to do with kindergarten, welcoming you into DDES. Thank you for your time. I will try to make this as quick as possible. Going to be talking about four things today. First, we're going to be talking about some of the staff who will be working with your students here at DDS. Then we're going to be talking about our instructional blocks, some that are unique to DDS here. Third, we'll talk about a typical day in the life of your kindergartner. And finally, we're going to talk about our adventure and fieldwork. My name is Aaron Nix. I will be your student's crew leader this year. My TA is Liz Barton. We will be in the classroom every day. Some other faces that you will see around the school is Becky Deal. She is our literacy and math interventionist for the younger grades. And Jenna Baruzzo. She is our special education teacher for the younger grades. Your students may work with either of these individuals if they've been identified either with an IEP or for a specific intervention group in literacy or math. Your students go to specials Monday through Friday every week. Z Flatley teaches our movement or gym class, and Reeves McDonald teaches our creation lab or art class. We also have a pet named Rosie the tarantula. She lives near the window to the hallway in our classroom. If your family enjoys spiders or feeding spiders, you're welcome to bring in crickets from a pet store. She enjoys 15 large crickets every other week. Let's take a look at our instructional blocks here at DDES. We have crew, expedition, literacy intervention, math, math intervention, which is a different instructional block, and solitude. We're going to be talking about these academic blocks here in a minute. I will take a time to mention solitude as we will not cover it later. Solitude follows lunch every day, and this is a quiet time following eating that allows your student to self-regulate before re-entering learning blocks. All right, crew block. This is how we start the day in every classroom here at DDES. It is a social emotional learning time. These lessons are kindergarten through fifth grade is an ongoing curriculum that builds on itself, really nails down these character traits that we emphasize here as the way of the blue bear: courage, compassion, craftsmanship, tenacity, and self-discipline. Also building relationships amongst each other. Expedition might be a new term for people. However, this is a learning block that brings in writing, reading, and science into one case study. We work on an ongoing project all year in Expedition. This is going to be studying insects. Currently, we are talking about the job of a scientist. This will end the year with a project that supports bee conservation. In kindergarten, Expedition is divided by semester. In the fall, we are starting out with building background knowledge. This is talking about the job of a scientist and how we observe the world around us. Next, we will be talking about ants and what makes a true insect. Then, just before winter break, we will be studying mealworms and watching their life cycle from larva to pupa to adult. Our big celebration of learning for the fall will actually be after we come back from winter break, but we go to the butterfly pavilion as the capstone of our mealworms case study. In the fall, it's a lot of project-based learning. To the left here, we see two students helping raise our ant colony and studying it in class. To the right, if you look in the students' hands, that is one of our mealworms that they are raising and interacting with. In the spring, the case study has, we have two case studies that we cover. During expert insects, your students will be assigned to a research group that study one insect. Typically, we do ladybugs, dragonflies, butterflies, grasshoppers, and beetles. Closing out the year, we will be studying bees. The final project here, your student will be producing an opinion letter, advocacy button, and putting together a speech to talk to community members. That's really important because our celebration of learning happens at Cheeseman Park, and we take our learning outside of the classroom We share with community members that your student doesn't know why bees are important, what we can do to help them, and they're sharing their thoughts on that to community members. And we're raising money to support a local beekeeper. Last year, we raised $850. We'll see what we do this year. Final products in the spring are pretty cool. Your student will produce a expert insect book. This one here is about butterflies. This is a 5 to 6 page book, nonfiction text teaching an audience about their insect. To the right, you see a sample of that bee advocacy letter. This is constructed by a student, written by a student, and then the advocacy button is attached to it down at the bottom. This is what we're taking to Cheeseman Park. Let's talk about math. We have two math learning blocks. In class, we work on a lot of problem solving. This is based on cognitively guided instruction. We call this problem solving in class, where we are working on word problems and representing them using math tools. While math tools do change as our abilities grow, in kindergarten, we are really nailing down these foundational skills of being able to represent abstract numbers with tangible objects. On Fridays, we will be introducing jars, which this is counting a loose connection or a loose collection, sorry, of objects that your student will be assigned. And we're practicing counting carefully and accurately, really pushing that number as far as we can go. Ideally, by the end of kindergarten, we would like your student to be able to count to 100, if not farther. If you're practicing at home, counting objects is the ideal. Rote counting is good, but being able to have that one-to-one correspondence. We also have another math block here in kindergarten. This is actual math instruction. Our curriculum is, we use illustrative math. Down here in these color boxes, you can see the units we'll be covering. We just started the Math in Our World, Unit 1. We will be going through 8 of these units throughout the year. In our every other week newsletter, which we will be sending out tomorrow, you will receive updates when a new unit's coming, what we're covering, and stuff you can practice at home. Again, we take a problem-solving approach to mathematics. We are using that illustrative mathematics curriculum. This is common through most EL schools, and it comes highly recommended. It's a K through 12 curriculum, and it aligns to our vision of math instruction. Our math intervention block or problem-solving block, cognitively guided instruction, is really working on those problem-solving, real-world math skills using a scenario. For instance, today we talked about I have 8 crabs on a beach, 5 crawl into the ocean. How many are left on the beach? Being able to represent that with tools, a picture, labeling with numbers, finding the answer and marking that clearly, and constructing a number sentence as well. This is an example of those unit overviews that will be linked to in our newsletters. There's always a try at home section. Please, please, please take a look at this if you are interested in practicing things at home. Specials at DDES. Monday through Thursday, your students will either be going to movement or creation lab. Every other week, we would go to movement, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Then the following week, we would be going to creation lab, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Then it switches back. Starting this week, we're going to have rotating music topics every Friday. That is a push-in group here in the classroom that will only be on Fridays. Most weeks, your student will go to 2 specials a week, either creation lab or movement, and then music on Fridays. All right, let's take a look at a day in the life of kindergarten. It's kind of busy here. We have a lot of transitions. It is very, very important that your student arrives on time for school. We have 3 opportunities for food during the day. Arrival, if your student receives school breakfast, this is waiting for them on their desk when they arrive. If they bring snack from home, that is A-okay. They are welcome to eat at this time, which preps our brain and bodies for learning. We have 3 learning blocks: crew, writing, skills. Following that, we have our morning recess where we go downstairs to the playground, come back up for math. We have our second food opportunity at lunch. For a lot of students, it's a pretty far stretch from 8 o'clock to 11:05 to not eat. However, Having food put away during this time really helps us focus on our learning. So we want to make sure they are fully fed in the morning. Also at lunch, we encourage them to eat as much as they can, finish everything they can, so we are ready for the afternoon. Solitude is that quiet time we talked about, which preps our brains and bodies to engage with problem solving and expedition. We close out the afternoon with recess before going to specials. Again, on Monday through Thursdays, this would be movement or creation lab, followed by a snack read aloud. This is our third and final opportunity for food in the day. We have a choice time. This is cooperative play, sharing items, playing together, working together to do a project. We typically bring out 3 options here in class before we do closing circle and head downstairs for dismissal. Fridays are a little bit different. Every Friday is a half day, early release day. Again, arriving on time is really, really important. We will make sure the kids are eating. We will have a small crew circle. Following that, we will either go to community circle or meet with our younger, older buddies. Those are every other week as well. So if it is not a community circle week, we will be meeting with Yo Buddies. That is starting later this month. On Fridays, we typically do jars. This is counting a loose array of items. Growing your skills, we'll do some sort of writing activity before going to recess. We'll have music, lunch, solitude. We try to close out the week with some sort of class job to really prep the classroom for the following week. This is not just teachers' responsibility, but all of our responsibility being part of the crew. We'll have choice time, closing circle, and get out of here. Arrival and dismissal times. Monday through Thursday, the kindergarten arrival time is 7:45 to 7:55. It is really, really important that you hit that targeted window because our drop-off area is very limited. If our car line is reaching out onto the street and blocking traffic, we have had issues with the city. It is a privilege that we get to use the alley for drop-off and pickup. And we really need to stick to the drop-off times to ensure that not everyone is showing up at the same time. If you happen to have an older student with a kindergarten student, you are welcome to drop the older student off at the kindergarten time. This is important so your kindergartner has enough time to come in, get settled for the day, eat some food before we start our learning, which does start slightly earlier than the older students. Dismissal Monday through Thursday is at from 2:55 to 3:05. Again, hitting this target window is important, so not everyone shows up at the same time. Fridays have the same arrival time, 7:45 to 7:55, and dismissal will be between 12:40 and 12:55. Please, please, please hit these target times. All right, communication with staff. I will be communicating in several ways. Some of this will be one-way communication. I plan to send out a newsletter twice a month. We will be communicating any fieldwork opportunities on average 2 weeks before sending out an announcement. Hey, we're looking for volunteers. I did send out a reach well message with all the confirmed dates that we have. However, there might be more opportunities in the future. If you are interested in any of those now, or when I send out those update emails, please, please reach out. We always need chaperones. And adventure trips. So our fall trip to Cherry Creek State Park, our winter snowshoeing trip, or our overnight camping trip in the spring. We are looking for adults, and I will communicate those 2 weeks before. Two-way communication. There will be student updates. You should expect these about 1 time per month. I do try to circle around, check in with you about your student, how you're going, give some sort of update on what they're doing in class. As needed, we can schedule phone calls. And finally, we are going to be meeting together, me and you, either in person or virtually, 1 time per semester for family conferences. Just a note here, ReachWell will be used for all big or whole group communication. Any student-specific communication will be done through email. If you need to get a hold of me, please, please email me. Finally, communication with your student. Please talk to your student every morning if they're receiving home or school lunch. Verbally confirm this with them. When they come in, their first job in the classroom is sorting their lunch stick. Some students are signed up to receive school lunch every day. However, some students receive school lunch sometimes, or perhaps you forgot a lunch that day and we always make space for them to be able to get a lunch. One of their responsibilities coming in is sorting their lunch icon to confirm which they are getting. Please send in extra clothes. Every student needs an extra pair in their cubby just in case there's an accident, a horrible mess in class, we get too wet for some reason and need to change. It's always nice to have an extra pair of clothes. We do have some extra clothes at school, however, they rarely fit well. So it's really helpful to have those clothes. I will try to verbally confirm with you if anyone had an accident at the school or one of the TAs at the pickup line. If you see clothes coming home in a bag, they will be bagged up real tight if there was an accident. Just send in a fresh pair of clothes and we'll put them in the cubby the next day. Finally, thoughtful questions for your student. Please ask specific questions about their learning. I will provide prompts in the newsletter. If we talk in person, I'll try to mention something specific. Rather than asking, did you like school? Yes or no? Ask an open-ended question and I'll be providing these, like I said. All right, let's talk about adventure here at DDES. We believe that adventure, going into the mountains, going into nature, provides a unique character building opportunity for our students. We have two trips to look forward to right now. We have a fall trip to Cherry Creek State Park. This is a day trip only. This is scheduled for Wednesday, October 8th. If you'd like to come along, we're going on a hike. We might play in the water on the beach a little bit. Send me an email. Love to have you come along. And we have a spring trip. This is at Camp Elm. This is a one-night cabin trip. So either be in late April or early May. Date is to be determined. There, we will be hiking, we will be canoeing, we'll be doing a low ropes course. There's a lot of fun stuff and a lot of growth that can happen on these trips. More info to come on that one. All right. There are many volunteer opportunities here in kindergarten. If you or a family member would ever want to come in for a read aloud, Monday through Thursday, we have an opening at 2 o'clock. You're more than welcome to bring in your favorite storybook and share that with our crew. We are always looking for chaperones for fieldwork and adventure trips. If you plan to drive students in your car, or if you're willing, let's say that, to drive students in your car, please select yes on that form I will send out. They just need your car insurance info to confirm that you're A-OK to drive students. We will provide the booster seats. If you do not want your child riding in a personal vehicle under any circumstances on fieldwork or adventure, please email me. I do keep a list of that and let me know. Food deliveries. If you'd like to bring in live crickets for Rosie, again, she likes 15 large crickets every other week. I'd be happy to schedule that with you or your family. You guys can bring them in and your student will be able to feed the crickets to Rosie. We have a family council here. This is the equivalent of a PTA. If they have not already reached out, they will be looking for some volunteers to help make their stuff happen. They do a lot of really cool stuff during the year, mainly focusing on family and student engagement, really making this community a special place. If you're interested, please reach out. You can send me an email if you have any questions. Anytime you're chaperoning students for fieldwork or adventure, you will need a background check form completed through the front office. I will send this link out in every email about fieldwork or adventure. Finally, please download the ReachWell app. This will be used for whole group communication. If you have any questions or issues with this, don't hesitate to reach out to the front office. They will be able to help you with that. But this is for whole group communication. Again, direct communication with me about your student, you can always email me. Thank you for your time. I hope this was informative. If there's any lingering questions, please reach out. All right. Have a good one.